What is going on, YouTube? It is All Things Mets Media, and this video is going to be about Jacob DeGrom and Max Scherzer. We're going to get some updates on him, so leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get into the video. Guys, Jacob DeGrom, we already know what he brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? A two-time Cy Young winner. Amazing job that he has done, with the New York Mets. He's been one of the best Mets players in this, last 5 years. So I love Jacob DeGrom. When he's on the mound and when he's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in the whole league. Probably the best pitcher in the major leagues. So, we know what Jacob DeGrom brings. But if you don't know, guys, Jacob DeGrom brings a 99, 95 plus, miles per hour fastball, a nasty 93 miles per hour slider, a good changeup, an okay curveball, But Jacob DeGrom is the whole package, guys. What he brings to the table, we already know what he brings to the table. Like I said, he's a two-time Cy Young, and he's a two-time Cy Young for a reason. And unfortunately, his health has been an issue, in the previous years. Last year, he had to miss the second half of the season, but he had a great first half, the season last year, and the Mets were in first place. So this year, the Mets, hopefully, they get him back by actually late July. I would say late July. Hopefully they do get Jacob DeGrom back, and he will be a big boost to the rotation. Just a guy like Jacob DeGrom, being after the trade deadline, after the All-Star game, that would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because the Mets are already in first place right now, and if they just keep it up, they keep up the pressure, and they get a guy like Jacob DeGrom back, it's going to be amazing. But we're going to get into the latest update. Jacob DeGrom, guys, he threw off the mound recently. His next step is going to be to do a rehab assignment. Now, if the Mets do decide to do a rehab assignment, we'll see, but that's going to be later on. But, I want Jacob DeGrom, not to be rushed to come back because I want him to be healthy. When he comes back, I want him to be healthy. He's coming back, from that right scapula. It sucks to hear that Jacob DeGrom, got injured, but the Mets had to handle the situation, and they have handled it in a great way. They have, been patient with Jacob DeGrom, been checking on Jacob DeGrom, haven't been rushing Jacob DeGrom. But Jacob DeGrom seems to be doing well. The MRIs were good. Like I said, he threw off the mound, recently, and that went good. So the next step is going to be to do a rehab assignment. I don't know exactly the time frame when he's going to do a rehab assignment, but it's going to be a lengthy rehab assignment. It's not going to be just 1 game, 2 games. It's going to be probably maybe 7 to 8 games. We'll see, because it's going to be a lengthy rehab assignment, because they don't want to push. They don't want to, rush Jacob DeGrom and then, lose him for the whole season. So we'll see what happens there. But let's talk about Max Scherzer. You know what I'm saying? 3-time Cy Young winner. Like I said, if Jacob DeGrom comes back, just imagine if Max Scherzer comes back at the same time or even before, because it's looking like Max Scherzer is going to come back before Jacob DeGrom. Now, Max Scherzer has recently, pitched a bullpen sessions recently, with low intensity, but he is, he could be on the verge for a rehab assignment late next week. We'll see about that, but that's what Buck Showalter said. I think that, it would be lovely to get Max Scherzer back soon, and he is ahead of schedule, and it's crazy because Max Scherzer, the thought was that he was eventually going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, and he's going to be back before that. That's good news for the Mets. I hope Max Scherzer's not rushing this. I hope, the Mets are not rushing Max Scherzer, and I hope that, Max Scherzer feels healthy, feels better with that oblique, because that was an issue. And we know what happened with, his dog bit him in his hand, but he's completely fine. That did not affect his rehab at all. So I love what I see. I love, what I'm hearing from Max Scherzer, Jacob DeGrom. This news right here, Max Scherzer, like I said, is a 3-time Cy Young. We saw what he did, for the beginning of the season, for the starts that he had with the Mets. We saw the energy that he brings to Citi Field. We saw the fire that he plays with. I love him. I love him on this team. He brings so much energy, and he's just a leader. That's what I love about Max Scherzer. He's a leader. He's not just a guy that's just going to let things happen. No, he's a guy that goes out there and tries to run down these hitters, mow down these hitters, and do the job that he's supposed to do. And that's supposed to be the Cy Young pitcher that he's been for the last, decade. I'm not going to lie. He has. So this is good news for Max Scherzer. Late rehab assignment late next week. That would be lovely. Because, if the Mets were able to get Max Scherzer in early July, I would love to see it. This would be amazing because the rotation does need Max Scherzer. We know Tyler McGill. We just got Tyler McGill last night, but what's it called? Carlos Carrasco has been pitching great. Taijuan Walker has been pitching pretty good. Not going to lie. Trevor Williams has actually been pretty okay. Chris Bassett has been not pitching so great lately. But with the addition of Max Scherzer coming back, he's going to lengthen the rotation. And then when Jacob DeGrom comes back, it's going to be a Max Scherzer, Jacob DeGrom, Chris Bassett, Carrasco, and probably Tyler McGill or Walker show. And it's going to be amazing to watch. We're going to love seeing the rotation and finally see a rotation that, that we dreamed of when we signed Max Scherzer this offseason. So I love what I'm hearing from the New York Mets. I love that I see that, Max Scherzer is coming back soon. I love that Jacob DeGrom is on schedule. I love that, like I said, that the Mets are not rushing this process because this is a hard process. You don't want to rush a guy and, have him miss the whole season just because you rushed him. We saw what happened with the Mets last year. We saw Carlos Carrasco and how the Mets pushed him and, they rushed him. And then what did he do? He came up last year and he did not perform. He didn't perform. So you don't want to rush the process. You want this to be, a smooth process. You want to be patient. Yes, the Mets are a different team than they have been in previous years. So I'm not as concerned, just because we don't have Jacob DeGrom and Max Scherzer now. Because Tyler McGill, Carlos Carrasco, Taijuan Walker, and Chris Bassett, and even Trevor Williams and David Peterson have been holding down the fort. So they're going to continue to hold down the fort until these guys come back. And when they come back, this is going to be a big boost for this Mets team that's already in first place and hopefully will be in first place when they get these guys back. I would love to see, these guys come back and, bring the attitude, we know what happens. We know what happened when Jacob DeGrom pitches. We know how, how fiery it is. We know how amazing it is to watch because, like I said, when he's healthy, he's the best pitcher in the major leagues. And there's a lot of good pitchers, but when Jacob DeGrom is healthy, he's the best pitcher in the league, hands down. So when Jacob DeGrom comes back, he's going to be number one. And hopefully when Jacob DeGrom does come back, he comes back, and is healthy, but doesn't throw like 100 miles per hour, 101, because I don't want to see that. I want to see Jacob DeGrom, throw like 97, 96. That's good enough for me, okay? I don't want him to, break his arm. I don't want him to, have another injury just because he's throwing so hard. So I hope that, what's it called? Recently, the mechanics, they said that the mechanics was violent. I hope that they work with Jacob DeGrom on his mechanics. I hope that they work on, with Max Scherzer, to come back and be healthy. And that's what I hope for this team, guys. I want this team to be successful. I want this team to do great. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about Max Scherzer, guys. What you guys think about Jacob DeGrom. Are you guys, do you guys want Jacob DeGrom and Max Scherzer to come right now? Or are you okay with the patience and that the Mets are taking with Jacob DeGrom? Because me personally, I like what they're doing with Jacob DeGrom. They're not rushing him. And this is what they need to do. They don't need to rush these guys because they have guys that can hold down the fort. Like I said, like the rotation. We signed Chris Bassett, and he was a big sign for this team. Tyler McGill has been a lovely, pleasant surprise, and he's been amazing. I love what I see from Tyler McGill. I like what I see from David Peterson. I'm going to give David Peterson his props. He's been pitching great as well. So we'll see what happens with the rotation, guys. But definitely, guys, this is going to be probably the best 1-2 punch you will ever see, in your lifetime. If Jacob DeGrom comes back healthy and Max Scherzer is healthy, this is going to be the best 1-2 punch you have ever seen in your life. And, we'll see how it goes, but I would love for this to happen. And yes, I'm going to be making more videos when this time comes. I'm going to be so excited because, yeah, man, It's going to be amazing. So I love the Mets. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. This has been, All Things Mets Media. Love you guys. I love GM for life. I'm out of here.